Ethan Morales wasn't the kind of kid who attracted attention. He was quiet, average grades, played junior varsity soccer, kept the same small circle of friends since middle school. The kind of student teachers described as pleasant and classmates barely noticed unless they needed homework answers. That's why the first note didn't make any sense. It was a Tuesday morning in late October. The halls of Ridgeview High were loud and crowded, lockers slamming, sneakers squeaking against the polished floors. Ethan had just finished first period chemistry and stopped at his locker before heading to English. When he spun the dial and pulled the door open, a folded piece of notebook paper slid out and landed at his feet. He frowned. He didn't remember leaving anything in there loose. He picked it up and unfolded it. 3 words were written in messy blue ink. "I see you." Ethan looked around instinctively. Students were moving past him in both directions. No one was paying attention. He assumed it was a stupid prank, probably Marcus or Tyler from soccer trying to mess with him. He crumpled the paper and shoved it into his backpack, telling himself not to overthink it. But the second note came the next day. This time it was taped to the inside of his locker door. "You shouldn't stay after school." That one made his stomach drop. Ethan did stay after school, every Wednesday and Thursday, for tutoring in the library. He wasn't failing anything, but he was struggling in algebra and didn't want his parents finding out. He hadn't told many people about that, just his mom, and Ms. Holloway, the math teacher. He scanned the hallway again. A group of seniors were laughing near the vending machines, a couple arguing near the stairwell, nothing unusual. He checked the lock. No scratches, no signs someone had forced it open. He changed his combination that afternoon, convinced maybe someone had guessed it. The third note showed up Friday. No tape this time. It was sitting neatly on top of his textbooks, like someone had placed it there seconds before he opened the door. "You look tired. Didn't sleep much last night." Ethan hadn't. He'd been up until nearly 2 a.m., arguing with his parents about his slipping grades. The walls in his house were thin, but still, how would someone at school know that? That was when it stopped feeling like a joke. He told Marcus at lunch. Marcus laughed at first. "Dude, it's probably just some freshman with a crush." Ethan didn't laugh. "Then how do they know about tutoring? Or that I didn't sleep?" Marcus shrugged. "You're being dramatic." But Ethan wasn't dramatic by nature. If anything, he avoided conflict. The way his hands trembled slightly while holding his phone under the cafeteria table, that wasn't normal for him. That weekend, he barely left his room. Monday morning came with a pit in his stomach. He walked to his locker slower than usual, scanning faces as he went. Every whisper felt directed at him. Every laugh sounded suspicious. When he opened the locker, nothing fell out. For a brief second, relief washed over him. Then he noticed something etched into the inside metal wall. Not written in pen, scratched in. "I'm closer than you think." His breath caught. The scratches looked fresh, raw against the gray paint. He slammed the locker shut and stepped back, bumping into a girl behind him. "Sorry," she muttered, annoyed. He didn't apologize back. He just stared at the metal door as if it might open on its own. This wasn't someone slipping paper inside. This was someone accessing his locker repeatedly. He went straight to the front office. The assistant principal listened with a tight, polite smile. "Teenagers can be cruel," she said. "We'll look into it." They checked the hallway security footage from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. Nothing. No one hovering near his locker longer than a few seconds. No one trying combinations. No one tampering with it. "Maybe you're misremembering leaving it open," she suggested gently. Ethan insisted he wasn't. They reassigned him a new locker on the other side of the building just to be safe. For one day, everything was quiet. Then Wednesday morning, when he opened the new locker, a folded paper slipped out. "Welcome back." That was when he started to panic. He hadn't told anyone about the new locker. The office had switched it discreetly during last period. There were only 2 possibilities. Either someone in the administration was involved, or someone was watching him closely enough to see the switch happen. The next note came with a drawing, a crude sketch of the school's second-floor hallway. A small X marked exactly where his locker stood. Underneath it, one sentence: "Turn around." He read it twice before slowly glancing over his shoulder. The hallway was empty. Classes had already started. He was late to English. The silence felt heavy, unnatural, like the building itself was holding its breath. That was when he noticed the janitor at the far end of the hall. Mr. Callahan had worked at Ridgeview for as long as anyone could remember. Gray beard, heavy boots, always pushing the same squeaky cart. He was standing completely still, not sweeping, not moving, just watching. Their eyes met for half a second. Then Mr. Callahan resumed mopping as if nothing had happened. Ethan's chest tightened. He didn't want to jump to conclusions. The man had never been anything but polite, but he was always there. Early mornings, late afternoons, hallways nearly empty. Ethan started paying attention after that. He noticed how often Mr. Callahan lingered near the locker areas after school, how his cart was positioned in places that blocked security cameras' direct views. On Thursday, Ethan skipped tutoring and instead hid in the stairwell overlooking his locker row after the final bell. He waited. Students cleared out. The noise faded. At 4:12 p.m., Mr. Callahan rolled his cart down the hall. He checked both ends of the corridor. Then he reached into his pocket. Ethan's heart pounded so loudly he was sure it would echo. The janitor knelt in front of Ethan's locker and pulled out a small key. Not a master key ring, one single key. He unlocked the locker smoothly, opened it, and slipped something inside. Ethan felt frozen. He should have run, should have called someone. Instead, he stayed crouched there, watching as Mr. Callahan locked it back up and walked away like nothing had happened. 10 minutes later, Ethan approached his locker with shaking hands. He opened it. One final note. "I told you I'm close." Underneath the words was something else, a photo. It was a printed picture of Ethan asleep in his bedroom, taken from outside his window. The angle was clear, from the small patch of woods behind his house. His stomach dropped so violently he nearly threw up. That night, his parents called the police. Officers searched the woods behind their home, found footprints, found cigarette butts, but no one. The school suspended Mr. Callahan pending investigation. They searched his small apartment. They found dozens of photos, not just of Ethan, of other students, taken from parking lots, through classroom windows, outside houses. And inside his closet, they found a small wooden box filled with locker keys, not master copies, duplicates he'd had made over the years. The police believed he'd been doing it for a long time, watching, choosing, testing boundaries with notes before escalating. Ethan transferred schools before winter break. He stopped sleeping near windows, stopped staying after dark. For months, he jumped at every unfamiliar face. Mr. Callahan was arrested. But here's the part that still unsettles people. 2 weeks after the arrest, after the apartment had been cleared out and sealed, a folded note appeared inside Ethan's backpack during class at his new school. Different handwriting, same blue ink. You're still easy to find. No one ever figured out who put it there. And sometimes, late at night, Ethan still wonders which was worse. The man who got caught, or the one who didn't.